Good morning, students. Welcome in video lecture of electronic devices and circuits. We are discussing new unit, unit number 3, electronics and amplifiers. In previous lecture, we discussed the topic as classification of amplifier. In that lecture, we discussed the classification of amplifier based on the classes. Classes in the sense A class, B class, AB class, C class. By considering these classes, we are discussed one and analyzed the how they are giving the input, what exactly the input impedance and output impedance of these particular classes we are considered. We are discussed one. That point we are discussed in previous lecture. Now, in today's lecture, we are exactly once again starting the classification of amplifiers. Right? See, here today whatever we are going to discuss, it is as consideration of the our syllabus. And previous lecture, whatever we are discussed the classification of amplifiers, it is the just basic knowledge and which is not directly related to our syllabus, but you have to know what the exactly classes of that particular amplifier it is considered one, that you have to know. And for that reason I was explaining that particular thing in a previous lecture. But now today, as per the syllabus, I am going to discuss the classification of a amplifier, right? So remember this, whatever the today's lecture is there, in this lecture we are exactly starting the our syllabus by considering the same point, that means a classification of amplifiers. Now this amplifiers, that means classification of in that classification of amplifiers, the amplifiers are again classified in a four categories. Okay, see here again it is classified in a four categories, and these categories are based on the magnitude of the input and output impedance of an amplifier, which is relative to the source and load impedance respectively. That means whatever the source you are considering for that particular amplifier and whatever the load you are applying for that particular amplifier, that load impedance and the source, by considering that the magnet based on the magnitude of the input and output impedance, you are categorizing this particular amplifier, right? So these categories or these again types are considered on this particular thing, right? Now these types are, first one is the voltage amplifier, right? First classification is the voltage amplifier. Second classification is the current amplifier. Third classification is the transconductance amplifier. And fourth classification is the transresistance amplifier. See, these four the classes of this amplifier, it is based on the input, magnitude of the input and output impedance. It is based on the magnitude of input as well as the output impedance of an amplifier, which is related to the source and the load impedance respectively. Okay, now we'll see one by one what exactly here these classification of the amplifiers it is having. Now whatever the we are considering this classification, these are again considering the Thevenin's and Norton's equivalent circuit to study these amplifiers. So we will see one by one these classification of amplifier, and first one is the voltage amplifier. Now see, the Thevenin's equivalent circuit of a two-port network which is represents the voltage amplifier, it is shown in the figure. So, right, see here this figure is there. Here Vs is applied as the input source for this particular amplifier, which is having the resistance Rs, source resistance Rs, and the this in this Thevenin's equivalent circuit, the whatever the Vi is there, it is the input voltage for that particular amplifier, which is having the input resistance as the Ri, right? And at the output side we are applying the external load as the RL, and across which we are getting the output as the V naught. And in the input side of sorry, at the output side of that particular amplifier, the internal output resistance is the R naught, and whatever the voltage it is considered one at the output side in that amplifier, it is nothing but the AV into Vi, right? Gain voltage of that particular circuitry into Phi. Right? See, if the amplifier input resistance, that means Ri is the amplifier's input resistance, is larger compared to the source resistance Rs, is larger than that particular source resistance of a Rs resistance, then Vi, this Vi, right? See here, Ri here, this Rs here, and this Vi. Vi is nearly equal to Vs because this is the smaller one. And whatever the drop you are getting one, it is getting large here. So here Phi is equal to nearly equal to Vs. If the external resistance, load resistance RL is larger as compared to this particular output resistance R naught of an amplifier, then Phi naught, whatever you are getting one, it is nearly equal to AV into Phi. AV into Phi, which is again nearly equal to Vs. Why? Because this Vi is nearly equal to Vs. So whatever the V naught you are getting here, it is nearly equal to the AV into Phi naught. Vs. This amplifier provides the voltage output proportional to the voltage input. See here, this amplifier provides the a voltage output which is proportional to the voltage input, and the proportionality factor is independent of the magnitudes of the source and load resistance. See, whatever the proportionality factor is there in this particular, you can see that circuitry, it is independent of the magnitude of this particular, whatever the source resistance and output resistance, load resistance, right? Remember that. Such a circuit is called as the voltage amplifier, right? Such a circuit is called as the. Now, an ideal voltage amplifier must have infinite input resistance, right? This is finite input resistance, which is called as a Ri, and zero output resistance as R naught, right? See, this R naught, zero output resistance R naught. That means this should be infinite and this should be 0. The symbol AV in the figure represents the this particular voltage gain V naught upon Vi, with RL is infinite. Hence, the represents the open circuit voltage amplification, okay, or a gain, which represents the open circuit voltage amplification. This represents the voltage open circuit voltage amplification or gain of that particular amplifier. Got this thing? So whenever you are having the input resistance high, output resistance low, at that time Vs is nearly equal to Vi, and here V0 is nearly equal to AV into Vi or nearly equal to AV into Vs. At that time, this kind of a amplifier, it is called as the voltage amplifier. Why? Because whatever we are getting the output voltage, it is proportional to the input voltage. Okay, so this is the voltage amplifier. Now, next one is the current amplifier. See, then what exactly the current amplifier? In ideal current amplifier, it is defined as an amplifier which provides the output current which is proportional to the signal current. Output current which is proportional to the signal current, and the proportionality factor is independent of the input source resistance and load resistance RL. See here, source resistance and load resistance, it is not affecting on that particular, you can see that in that particular amplifier, right? An ideal current amplifier must have zero input resistance, that is Ri, and infinite output resistance R naught. That means its input impedance should be low, that means 0, and output impedance should be high. In practice, the amplifier has low input resistance and high output resistance. It drives a low resistance load. It drives the low resistance load. That means R naught is very greater than RL, right? That means here low resistance you are driving upon and is driven by the high resistance source. That means Ri is very greater than Rs. Ri is very greater than Rs. Figure shows Norton's equivalent circuit of an current amplifier, remember that AI is nearly equal to, here current gain, it is considered one, which is having the ratio of IL, current load current divided by input current, with RL is equal to 0, with RL is equal to 0, representing the short circuit current amplification, which represents the short circuit current amplification. Why? RL is near about 0, or gain, short circuit current amplification, or a gain. If Ri is very less than R naught and Is is nearly equal to Ii, then, and if R naught is nearly equal to RL, then IL is nearly equal to AI into II, or AI into Is. Hence, the output current is proportional to the signal current. That means this output current is proportional to that particular signal. So here Norton's equation or Norton's equivalent circuit, it is considered for the current amplification. See here, Is here is the input source current, I is the input current, right? Ri is the input resistance, R naught is the output resistance, and RL is the load resistance. So here I naught is nearly equal to I naught is equal to RL, because here RL is a very low. So here A into AI into II, it is nearly equal to AI into Is. Why? Because this, whatever the current it is flowing, Is it is getting in this particular I resistance. Getting my point? So this is the some sort of the thing related to the, you can say that this particular uh, current resistor, current amplifier, right? It is related to that particular current amplifier. Now, here just I want to show you one thing, that here by mistake it is Ri is it is noted as the Ri is very greater than Rs. It is not the case, because input resistance is almost 0. So here it should be less one. That means Ri is very less than input resistance, source resistance Rs. Input resistance of that particular amplifier, it is very less than this particular source resistance Rs. So understand this particular thing. This is the in a reverse direction, in a opposite direction. Ri is very less than Rs. Remember that thing, right? So remember that thing. Thevenin's theorem, it is giving the equivalent circuit, it is giving the voltage amplifier, and Norton's equivalent circuit, it is representing the current amplification, current amplifier. Right? Now this is the all about the current amplifier. Now next type is the transconductance amplifier. Next type is the transconductance amplifier. See here, the equivalent circuit of a transconductor amplifier, it is shown in the figure. Here, this transconductance amplifier, it is represented by Thevenin's equivalent circuit in an input circuit. In its input circuit, it is representing the Thevenin's circuit, equivalent, and at the output side, you are considering the Norton's equivalent circuit, right? Norton's equivalent circuit. Now see what exactly the transconductor amplifier. The ideal transconductor amplifier supplies an output current which is proportional to the signal voltage, whatever the signal voltage it is considered one. To that proportional, you are getting the output current, right? So which is independently of the magnitude of the Rs and RL. It is independent of the source resistance and load resistance. This amplifier must have infinite this amplifier must have infinite input resistance and infinite output resistance are not. That means both should have a infinite one. A practical transconductor amplifier has a large input resistance. That means Ri is very larger than this particular Rs. Remember that thing. And hence must be driven by the low resistance source. That's why it is having the, you can see that driving the low resistance source. it presents at a high output resistance. That means R0 is very greater than this particular RL, and hence it is drives the low resistance load. This load is the very low one, right? So remember that thing. So this is the all about the transconductance amplifier. This is all about the transconductance amplifier. Remember that thing, right? So here Thevenin's equivalent circuit it is considered at the input side, and Norton's equivalent circuit it is considered at the output side. Here input resistance Ri and output resistance R0, it is very larger one. Whatever you are current getting at the output side, it is proportional to the applied voltage signal, source signal, right? Remember that. Now next one is the trans resistance amplifier. See, name it is given as the trans resistance amplifier. See here how the trans resistance amplifier it is shown here. See here in this trans resistance amplifier, Norton's equivalent circuit it is considered at the input side, and Thevenin's equivalent circuit it is considered at the output side, right? So this kind of a circuit amplifier it is called as the, you can see, the trans resistance amplifier. Now figure shows the equivalent circuit of an amplifier which ideally supplies an output voltage. See, whatever the output voltage you are getting one is proportional to the input current. Input current Is, independent of that particular source resistance Rs and load resistance RL, which is not depending on the source resistance Rs and RL. He is called as the trans resistance amplifier. This is called as the trans resistance amplifier. In practical trans resistance amplifier, we must have, see here, we must have Ri is Ri is very less than Rs. That means here Rs should be very greater than Ri, right? Remember that thing. And R0 is very less than this particular RL. This is the RL, not Ri. This is the RL. That means R0 is also very less than this particular RL. Hence, input and output resistance are very low. Here the input and output resistance are very low, right? So which is considered that particular resistance of that particular source and the load resistance. As compared to this particular source resistance, this Ri should be less one. As compared to this particular load resistance, this R0 should be less. Getting my point? So by considering the figure, if Rs is very greater than Ri, that means here II, whatever the II it is flowing one, it is again nearly equal to this particular Is. And if the R0 is this R0 is very less than this RL, then whatever we are getting the voltage across this particular RL, it is nearly equal to, V naught is equal to Rm into II, which is nearly equal to Rm into Is. Here see here what exactly mean by Rm. Here Rm is nothing but it is the ratio of it is giving the constant, or you can say that ratio of V naught, voltage V naught upon this particular input voltage or input voltage of the amplifier II, right? This is the ratio of V naught upon I. With RL is the infinite, that means having the RL is the, in other words, Rm is the open circuit. Now Rm is the open circuit mutual or transfer resistance, mutual or transfer resistance, open circuit, mutual or transfer circuit. Getting my point? This is the, that's why it is called as the trans resistance amplifier. That's why it is called as the trans resistance amplifier. This is the difference, right? So these are the four classes of the amplifier, which is depends upon the magnitude of the input and output impedance, right? Now see here I am this particular slide which is summarize the characteristics of four ideal amplifier types. in this tabular form. So this side it is giving the parameter, that means Ri, R naught, that is input resistance, output resistance, and transfer characteristics. So for voltage amplification, input resistance is the infinite and output resistance is the low. So this transfer characteristics we are getting as the V naught is equal to AV into Vs. For current amplifier, input resistance is the zero, output resistance is the infinite, and whatever we are getting the current at the output side, which is IL is equal to AI into IS. Same again considering for that particular transconductance, input resistance is also infinite, output resistance is also infinite. Whatever at the time we are getting the output current related to the input voltage, that is nothing but IL into GM into Vs. And trans resistance, which is having the Ri and R naught 0 0, and for that whatever the input current we are applying one, for that input current whatever the output voltage we are getting, that is the V naught is equal to Rm into Is. So this is the summary of the all the amplifiers in terms of the parameters and the its types. So this is the all about the classification of amplifier. So students, if you are having any query related to this, you can ask me anytime. I will clear the all the doubts of regarding this classification of the amplifier. Thank you and stay safe.